Petrina.
Good morning.
What are you cooking for us today?
Today is going to be a vegetarian red Thai curry.
Ooh, sounds amazing. Tell us more.
Okay, so I'll go through the ingredients with yourself. I'm going to be serving it with some brown rice with a bit of carrots and onions. So that's I've pre-cooked last night because the rice takes a bit of time to cook. So that's going to be served with the curry itself. Curry I'm going to do from scratch. I've got my coconut oil here in the pan, just melting it. This is about maybe 2 tablespoons. You can see it's going to dissolve shortly, melt. And I've got my coconut cream in this jar here. And I've got basil leaves to garnish with. I've got ginger puree there. And I've got this vegetable, which I've used before, called pak choy. Just chopped it up really fine. So what I've done is I've actually separated the stocky bit with the leaves itself, because the leaves take less time to cook, so I don't really want to overcook it. And I've got my fried tofu here. This is really nice because, you know, when you've got that bit of sauce, it actually just soaks up the sauce. It's really nice in soups and things like that. So it's tofu here. You get it from Chinese shops mainly. And I've got my shallots here, 2 shallots, 1 red onion over here. And I've got bay leaves. Bay leaves, my garden. Bay leaves, as I mentioned before, is medicinal. So you just have to, you know, if you can plant your own tree by all means, because the ones you get in the shop are dried and they are not as good as the fresh ones, which I've just cut this morning, just an hour ago or so. Okay, and then I've got a carrot here, and this one, this is also from my garden. It's called kaffir lime, and this is lime. If you actually sort of like crush it, you actually smell it. It smells a bit of lime, and this is what they normally use in the Thai cooking. And this one I've got, this is lemongrass. Lemongrass, again, very, very popular in Thai cooking. It just gives a very nice lemony flavor. You can't really eat it, it's quite thick, so I'm just gonna like sort of like bend it, so just get like the flavors out like that. Okay. And then I've got also, that's not in the recipe, I've actually managed to find some okra, lady's fingers. This is very good for the joints as well. So I'm going to chop it up and eat it. Many people, they don't like it because it's a bit slimy, but that's actually the medicinal part of the vegetable itself, the okra, lady's fingers. And I've got these mushrooms.
Oh, wow.
They're called seafood mushrooms. I think it's probably like it grows in the sea or something like that. Similar. It doesn't grow in the sea, but you know, because I think it just looks like that. And then I've got broccoli here, I've got tomatoes here, and also a red pepper as well. So that's all the ingredients. You can see the coconut oil's melted. So what I'm gonna do is, I've also got these sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes take a bit of time to cook, so I'm just gonna add that in first. So it starts cooking. This is like 1 sweet potato itself. And I've got my seasoning, which is a mixture of turmeric, paprika, a bit of sea salt, a bit of curry powder as well, and some other herbs like oregano. So let that cook for a while. I'll also add the bay leaves in, bay leaves there. And while it's cooking, I'm just gonna chop up the rest of the shallots. And this dish, you can eat it with other things apart from rice, maybe noodles or even like bread if you want to. And or you can eat it on its own, as with most of my dishes as well. It's all edible separately. So with the red onion and the shallots, again, just chop it really fine so that it cooks fairly fast. So I'm just gonna add that in now. You can see the pan's getting slightly hot now, so add that in, add the shallots in. I'll get a bit more already chopped up.
So your sweet potatoes, Chef Petrina, will that provide the thickness to the dish?
Yes, it will, exactly. And also if you want to have a bit of the carbohydrates as well, that'll be it. So you can hear the sizzle already in the pan. The pan's actually quite hot. So let that cook. And as I say, I'm just gonna break up this this lemongrass just to get the flavor out, basically. It's actually quite a hard sort of gonna add it in. Just give a nice lemon flavor. While waiting, I'm gonna cut up the carrots as well. So that's there. Maybe like half a carrot. Carrot again, eat it with the skin if you can, because all the nutrients are just under the skin as well for all these vegetables. So again, the carrot, you can cut it up fairly fine. The red curry is mainly, normally it's versus the green Thai curry. Green Thai curry would have more like greenish vegetables, whereas the red Thai curry, there's only so much, reddish type vegetables you can have. So I've just got the closest, like carrots and the red pepper as well, and chili, a bit of chili as well, red chili.
So in the green Thai curry, you wouldn't add the red pepper, you could add the green?
You can. It's just a general rule because it's named green, so you want to add more greenish vegetables. So when the red Thai curry is more like the reddish type vegetables as well. So let me just chop up this red pepper. So all you have to do is just get rid of the stalk, the rest can be eaten. And the red pepper together with the tomatoes, they're actually quite, they've got quite a lot of juice as well, natural juices. So that gives the dish a bit of gravy as well. So you'll see that I'm not actually going to add any water to this dish. It's curry, which will be quite liquid as well. So everything goes in, including the seeds and everything. So carrot done in. Yeah, just gonna add the red onions in as well. The rest of the red onions. And the ginger paste. This one's for garnishing. So the ginger paste is just again to give it a bit more flavor. You can add grated ginger as well if you want to. And again, if you're grating the ginger, then remember to leave the skin on as well. So I'm gonna add the stalky part of the pak choy first, because that takes a bit more time to cook.
Pak choy, is that like leek or like a cabbage?
Pak choy, this is what it looks like. So it's more like it's not really a cabbage or a lettuce or anything like that. It's just a separate dish. Yeah, so it's quite juicy as well. This bit is actually quite juicy. It's got quite a lot of water in it as well. It's more like a celery, like without the sharp taste of the celery itself. So I'm gonna cut up the mushrooms as well. Mushrooms, they don't really take long to cook. You can actually also eat it raw if you want to, so it doesn't really take time to cook. And that's it. I'm gonna remove the bay leaves at this point. Add the mushrooms in. And I've also got a lime which I'm going to squeeze towards the end just to give it a bit more tangy flavor as well, taste. So again with the lemongrass, I'm also going to take that out because that's the bit you can't really eat. You can, but it's going to be like quite hard.
Is it bitter as well?
Pardon?
Is it bitter?
It's not. It's more like a lemon type taste. So there's one more bit in there. So that's that. I'm gonna chop up now the lady's fingers. Lady's fingers. Now because the lady's fingers is so fresh, normally people would chop up the ends and the both ends. But I'm actually going to use all of it because it's really so fresh, you can actually tell. So you don't really want to waste food as such. So chop up that.
Yeah, I do cook okra, but in a completely different way. So this is interesting.
Yeah. So now you know the okra.
Yes.
Yeah. And then yeah, I'm gonna add the tofu in and a bit of the coconut cream just to give it that creamy texture. And coconut is used a lot in Thai cooking as well, Thai Asian cooking. So it's really healthy. Just there.
Oh, the aroma's coming through.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna chop up the tomatoes last. Tomatoes again will give quite a lot of nice natural juices to the dish itself. So let me just get rid of this to there. Okay, turn the heat down slightly. Okay. So I'm just gonna cover this for a while while I while I cut the rest of the tomatoes.
Okay, whilst you're cutting those tomatoes, Chef Petrina, I'm going to read out the ingredients.
That's absolutely fine.
So we've got vegetable Thai red curry, 1 red bell pepper, 3 medium-sized tomatoes, 3 red chillies, 1 medium sweet potato, 1 carrot, 3 stalks of lemongrass, 5 lime leaves, 1/4 teaspoon turmeric powder, 1/4 teaspoon paprika powder, sea salt to taste, 1 teaspoon of grated ginger, 3 cloves of garlic, 3 shallots, 1 red onion, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil or olive oil, then 1 can of coconut milk, 1 lime, 10 fried tofu, 1 cup of cauliflower, handful of coriander or mint leaves. It can be served with rice, pasta, or even bread. Or eaten by itself, maybe.
Okay, so I've got a bit more coconut cream here, which I'm just going to add in. Just give it more.
Sounds so healthy.
More liquids in there. And the broccoli, just going to put a bit of broccoli. I mentioned before the broccoli, the stalk of the broccoli can also be eaten. So I'm just going to put a bit of broccoli. And the broccoli as well, you don't really have to like cook it for too long. Just a few minutes will do, especially when you're chopping it fine like I am doing it. And as mentioned, the stalk can also be eaten if you chop it fine enough and cook it slightly longer so it's not too hard. So that's it. So you have again a dish that's full of various colors, full of various flavors
And nutrients.
nutrients. Exactly. Yeah.
High on nutrients.
And you know, as you mentioned in the recipe, you can add any other vegetables that you fancy as well. It doesn't have to be exactly what I've put in as well. As you can see at the last minute, I've actually found some nice mushrooms and I decided to put it in. So that's it. Let that cook for a bit longer.
How long would we leave it to cook, Chef Petrina?
For this, probably about maybe 10 minutes or less, depending on the size of your pot as well. So yeah, so that was the rest of the pak choy. I'm just gonna cut up this.
I love how you use all the vegetables.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
There's no wastage. A lot of us, we tend to waste a lot of food because, you know, either it's not the right shape or something like that. But, you know, that's how it's made, you know. Nothing's the perfect shape like we're accustomed to believe. And I'm going to cut up this. So this is just going to be like a garnish. So cut up this lime. You can use lemon as well if you want to. So all this goes into the pot.
I'm not leaving anything out.
Yeah.
Because of all the vitamins involved.
Yeah. So just garnish it. Put the flame slightly higher so it gets warm and we're almost ready to dish out basically. So just let's cook it for like another minute or so. And you can see all the flavors. The tofu is soaking up all the juices. You'll love it.
Yeah, I really love how you don't need to use water, because sometimes you just overdo it with the water.
Yeah, you can see it's a lot of gravy from the mainly from the juices of the potato. Sorry, not the potato, the tomato itself.
Yeah.
And then obviously the pak choy has a bit of juice as well, and obviously the onions give a bit of juice as well. And yeah, we're quite ready to serve it. I'm gonna enjoy it with this warm rice. Let me just stir it in a bit. Yeah, the rice is pretty warm as well, so it's nice to have it. And yeah, so
It's a very special dish.
yeah, just gonna squeeze this juice as well into the dish, and we're ready. So that'll give a bit of a lime soury taste to it. It's all a mixture of like sweet, sour and salty when it comes to Thai type cooking. And obviously the use of fresh herbs and stuff like that.
Yeah, just seeing that lemon made my mouth start to salivate.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna leave it to cook slightly, because I think the okra needs to cook slightly more. I've just found a few more.
Do you expect the okra to be slimy in the dish, or not?
No, because the sliminess would have already gone into the sauce itself, so you won't really notice it. Don't think you will anyway. Let me just remove all the bits of the lemongrass as I can find it. Otherwise, if you do bite into it, it's fine as well. You'll get just a dose of nice lemon flavor. It's a bit hard, that's all, so you can't really like eat it. And you know, in some restaurants, they actually started serving lemongrass tea as well. You can actually get the dry lemongrass tea. However, some of the better restaurants I've been to, they've actually used the fresh lemongrass, which is good as well. Yeah, so it's really nice.
Oh wow, Chef Petrina. Okay, whilst we're letting that simmer, we're going to look at a clip of course, we know that for the past year, the atrocities that have been taking place in Gaza, and of course spilled over in recent months to Lebanon. We're going to be looking at a clip where people in Lebanon have been, they've received their first UN aid, and inshallah the first of many.
Receiving the first shipment of